Happy Easter, fellow nomads. Just Jeremiah here, along the shore of the St. Croix. My good old friend the wind is here with me, but I'll do my best to face the microphone away. Again, I promise to get the right tech eventually where you won't have to worry about this stuff and I won't have to mention it. But yeah, I camped here for the night along the river. Stillwater, where my mom's at, is just over there. And I'm gonna walk back. Thought I'd talk to you some. So when I was younger, I was kind of crazy, and not like in a crazy way, but just all over the place. I struggled with dependency issues for years. Luckily, when I was messing with the pharmaceuticals, it was just like 2 years back, like 19, 20, 21-ish. But unfortunately, alcohol kind of devastated my life up into my mid to late 20s. Now I'm 37, and I've gotten it under control. But every now and then, I like to have a drink, of course. You might have noticed that from my Slab City videos. I'm pretty free and pretty open, but yeah, I don't get down like that anymore. Well, I'm sure that my family and everyone was worried back then, and whether it was in my head or not, I didn't feel that much support from my family when I was young like then. And so yeah, we all became kind of estranged. So for whatever reason, yeah, like family events came around. Well, even once we healed up, you know, the gap in our relationship. You know, my brother would invite me to his, but like the big family events and such, I was never really invited to. And even with my brother's family, it's like, you know, it's kind of a smaller thing and a little more private. So I always felt very welcome. Hello. Good, thank you. Happy Easter. But yeah, so a lot of times I ended up just feeling very displaced and almost neglected, whether it was in my own head or not. Very lonely on the holidays. I'm the type of person where I like to try, when I get a negative energy, I like to flip it around somehow and turn it around. So what I ended up doing on the holidays, including my birthday, was I would start going out on big adventures, go hiking and backpacking and, you know, just get away where I wouldn't have to worry about just sitting in a home alone, hungry because everything's closed. You can't even go to the grocery store half the time. Maybe there's people that can empathize with that who are watching this. But I mean, I went through that for years. I'd say more than a decade of just, you know, holidays were a bummer. And again, what I ended up doing was making them awesome by going off, yeah, on an adventure where it doesn't matter if the stores are closed, and it doesn't matter if, you know, I didn't feel like I was invited places. I just went and had a blast. And that really helped me start to get to the point where I was healing from some of my traumas of my childhood, which we all have. You know, we all have things from our past that affect us in negative ways, and some of us choose to face them, and some of us choose not to, and they choose to repeat them. I'm definitely a little bit of both camps, but I like to strive towards the first one. And yeah, so I, you know, used things that have been traumatic for me and tried to turn them around, including like my relationship with my mom. That was really tough growing up with her mental illness, and there's a lot of neglect and verbal abuse, and never really any real physical abuse, luckily. But I'm sure some of you can realize that like psychological abuse and neglect can have its toll, and some of those scars don't heal. But yeah, when I was like 25, I almost had like, sometimes I think a psychotic break almost. I was close to snapping. You know, although my mom has the mental illness she does, and it runs in families. I mean, I have been to therapy, and they didn't think that I had anything more than just a lot of energy anxiety and such. But so when I was 25, I like saw how detrimental that the drinking and everything was to me. I mean, I was not taking care of myself, rough shape. I did not care. Treated others all right, but as I got worse with myself, my dark side of the trauma from my childhood, from all the verbal abuse had started to come out. And so I made sure to basically quit drinking. I went and I started patching up my relationship with my mom. And it's funny because that's like a point when, without realizing it, both hers and my mental health really started improving. I really feel like there's a connection there, and I feel like as you spend your time trying to help your parents and your family heal, that it's especially that your elders, you're actually, by participating in the therapies that help them, you're a part of that therapy and you're receiving it yourself. So as I help my mom through her mental illness, it helps pave over those potential holes in my mental health future. Maybe that's just a fun way to think of it, as like extra incentive, but I really kind of believe that. I think that's why we're supposed to kind of flip-flop the whole parental-child roles silently at some point. Well, the bridge is coming. It's going to be beautiful, but I just don't think that the wind's going to hold up. So why don't I flip around, turn the mic away from the wind, and just show you. Maybe I'll talk a little more. Yeah, but so once I patched things up with my mom, it helped me get my mental health together. I quit drinking as much. I started backpacking. Jumped on the Appalachian Trail. Way back when, I had almost had dreams when I was feeling like I was in really dark spaces where I was suicidal, and I almost thought that if I had moved away and stayed away for long enough, that I wouldn't have to hurt people as much when I were to choose to take my own life. So it was part of like an original plan where, of course, I had wanted to travel, and I said I'd go all these places. But I started backpacking. I got like this whole region covered from the border of New Jersey to the border of Virginia on the Appalachian Trail. I did all of Pennsylvania and Maryland and West Virginia section hiking. And I did just everything nearby. So I decided to start traveling. And that's another story I'll get into. But I really can't say that I would have gone into those same steps if I hadn't gone and healed those old traumas with my mom. You know, I'm a firm believer that both physical and mental diseases are just caused about by trauma overloads, suppressed trauma overloads, trauma you don't deal with, and it becomes generational. You pass it down to your kids through epigenetic memory. It's like a mixture of the spiritual beliefs that people have had for thousands of years and the new science that's saying that your environment and the way you choose to see it affects and changes your DNA on a day-to-day basis. So, long and short, I don't think I'd ever be where I am today if I hadn't gone through the process of completely forgiving my mom and forgiving myself. And those things aren't easy, and it's still a process. You know, it has its residual energies. But that's a big part of why I'm proud to be here, is because, through my mom's illness, for whatever reason, out of all the kids, I was the one that she really took it out on. And I don't know. I feel like turning this relationship around with her is a great way, again, of turning that potential around for myself in the future. I feel so much better. Even though that 1 year when I came here at first, oh man, so overwhelmed. But I'm learning to balance myself with my mom. And, normally I would just see my mom like this and have to stay. And I'm kind of proud of myself for knowing that in order to help others, I have to help myself first. So I'm going to spend this next, couple of days here. I think I'm going to fly back to California on Thursday and head back to Slab City. See if I can do some community building and get some cool interviews and show the positive side of Slab City. And maybe help direct some positive energies in their direction. There's so many people nearby with so much abundance that with just a small amount of infrastructure built up, they don't need much in the slabs. With just a little bit of stuff that people don't need, and not even money, just an organization of setting up like furniture and toys and this and that. But I would like to be a part of helping that be a stronger pattern in the slabs, and I want to document it, and my friend Carrie wants to help. So yep, that's where I'm gonna go. I know that some of you might be like, where's the slab videos? But honestly, yeah, they're coming. Unless some big change comes and sends me in some crazy awesome direction. That's where I'm headed in just a few days. But for now, I'm gonna go up the hill and spend the afternoon with my mom. I'm gonna take her out to lunch, or brunch, Easter brunch, at one of my favorite restaurants, Feller, here in Stillwater. I just crossed over from Wisconsin, and yeah, I'll have to get back to you on the rest. I wanted to share, and I hope you're having a great Easter. And as always, thank you for watching. I'd love to have you leave any comments, or of course, if you're willing, smash that like button. At the end of this video, rather than the normal playlist, I'm going to throw one of my freediving playlists up. This stuff is very wholesome and great. Maybe you guys want a little more action adventure in the meantime, so check out my cave freediving, Florida freediving playlist, which I'm going to have at a link at the very end. I appreciate you all. Thanks for watching. Have a fantastic day, and get outside, please.